what's up guys, John52 back in today with another video, and I won't be doing a reaction today. I'll actually be doing a tier list. I'll be going over my favourite and all the anime I watched in the year 2020, some from 2019 that I only got to see in 2020, the release dates for example in Japan being a bit further down for movies for example, but really excited for this. Got no idea where anything's going in the minute. Haven't actually watched too many anime, or nowhere near all the anime that was released in 2020, so if I'm missing anything big, let me know down in the comments, and hopefully I should get it for next year. But yeah, really excited for today's video. Got a few I think that'll definitely be up there in my opinion, a few that I haven't actually finished yet but got strong opinions on nevertheless. Again, let me know any that are missing down below, and some of your thoughts on the anime that I've seen, and where I put them in the comments down below. Also leave a like if you do like the video, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date with the videos. Let's get right into it. Okay, hopefully this is good enough quality for you guys. Sometimes my video recording quality for when I do the index novels for example, and when I do stuff on the internet isn't that great apart from the anime, but hopefully it'll do. But I think we'll start with the first one here, which is Nanatsu no Taizai season 3. A couple of you guys that follow me on Twitter might know my thoughts on this one, and that one's going straight into the F tier. Just really unfortunate. I got through the first few episodes and didn't actually mind it that much. They obviously censored a lot of the stuff with the white blood and a lot of the fight scenes not having the best kind of animation and such early on, but I kind of dismissed all that and wanted to go on, as I really loved the first and second season. I had a big feeling that this could have been one of my favourite anime, could have gone in my top 10 of the first and second season. Just was absolutely amazing, and was really excited for the first season. And then again I got through the early episodes and thought and then I got to about episode 10, 11, 12, whenever the Diana and Fairy King guy, can't remember his name right now, but yeah, whenever they started looking at the flashbacks and stuff, and then the fight between Meliodas and the other guy from the other faction, again I can't remember hardly any of their names right now just because I'm trying to repress the memory of this show. But yeah, just the first two seasons have so much potential for me, and again could have been one of my favorites. And then I think more than anything it was the story just being absolutely bland, the fights and the show just being absolutely terrible, just having the sound having like no impact, the animation having kind of no impact as well. Just I don't know, it just didn't flow together at all well, but the story just felt absolutely so. It felt like I was watching an hour-long episode every 20 minutes, so that one's got to go on the F tier for me. Just absolutely hate what they done from the second season to the first season, with that high potential of being in my top 10 now to just being one of my absolute worst anime I've ever seen. Could be going a bit too far there, but I'm just very mad that they kind of screwed up that. But yeah, F tier for third season of Nanatsu no Taizai, probably not a controversial one. Then we've got Akudama Drive. Might struggle where to put this because this ended the other day. I think it's definitely got to go C or B for me. It's tough, man. You know what? I'll put it C rank for now. Obviously it's had really nice animation and had some decent characters in there. I didn't really get too much of a good look at a lot of the characters, one of them being well, obviously we got a really good look at Kaguya and ordinary person I call Swindler. They were two characters we really got a good focus on, but characters like Hacker kind of gone for half the show. He was really well introduced. All of them were really awesome introductions in the first couple of episodes, what got me hooked onto the series. But yeah, again, didn't really explore some of the characters I liked the most, and Brawler dying very early on was an awesome death. Again, the animation was absolute god tier, and the music as well was really good in the show, but I just feel the plot actually wasn't the greatest, saving these two kind of immortal kids from going to the Kanto region on this ship. It was made really good for the action and such. Again, as I say, it's got really awesome animation, but again, the plot, just saving these two kids, just considering how many people kind of even out of the Akudama, 7 of the Akudama actually, spoilers here by the way, there could be spoilers for pretty much everything. Yeah, 7 of the Akudama actually died just for the sake of these two kids, and then you got to count in all the civilians that died as well, and then the whole kind of justice system in that world kind of got taken down. And when you think about it, just for these two kind of immortal kids that would have been carrying, Kanto was really the best choice, and was this actually really what they needed to be doing, saving 2 kids when they've actually probably killed more kids at this point who aren't immortal? Not 100% sure, so that's got to go in the C tier though. I was teetering on the B tier just because again the animation and the fights and the music was pretty high tier, man. So I do really like those things when I'm watching anime, so that is very much teetering on the C and B tier, and I can kind of forgive the story in some parts because there were some also moments for, again, that brawler versus executioner fight, and the moment Hoodlum actually got his revenge as well was absolutely amazing. So we'll move on to the next one now. I'm just gonna have a little taste of water quick. This is going to be a lot of talking in this video. Well, I'm used to that with the indexes. So now we've got Attack on Titan season 4, or the final season. Now there's only been 2 or 3 episodes released at the minute, so I'm not 100% sure. I probably should have put somewhere I couldn't rate them, but I guess I have to rate it off the first 3 episodes alone. I think I've got to go B tier, just one above Akudama. That's already finished. Might be a bit crazy, but yeah, really liking this season. Again, it's especially the last episode we saw last week was actually really fast paced and a little bit hard to keep up with, to be honest. Or that might have been the episode before last week, but they added a lot of kind of story elements in there and a lot of flashbacks to events that we've seen before, just from Reiner, Hold, and Annie's perspective, and Orko, I think his name was Orko or Marco Griart, the one who died. But yeah, it was really interesting so far. I'm loving that we're kind of getting this Marleyan side of things and how they're kind of fighting against Paradise Island. I think in the next episode we'll be getting what's it called, the virus. I can't actually remember, but the people that own the Warhammer Titan, so that should be absolutely amazing. But I actually really enjoyed the first episode back on Attack on Titan when they had that war with what's her name, Gabby. She destroyed that train, and then the Titans falling down, them sending the Titans off the plane, for example. Absolutely amazing start to the season. So I think I definitely prefer the start to this season than Akudama Drive. But yeah, again, this is only 3 episodes in, so it definitely has potential to go S, A, or even lower tier. So B for the minute, I think, for that one. Next we have Digimon, but this is a picture from the OG Digimon. Again, this is kind of one of the animes that kind of got me into anime. I watched this very early on in life, and obviously moving into anime, I kind of knew a little bit what to expect from watching Digimon and Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, for example. But obviously it's a very different kind of thing than Digimon, what I'm watching now, for example, a lot more kind of adult. But this is the new season that aired this year. I think I've got to put this in D tier. It's not quite as bad as Nanatsu no Taizai, but I think I've got about 5 or 6 episodes through. Of course, they've changed the whole story this season, I believe. But again, I couldn't really get into it. I kind of hate how they evolved the Digimon and stuff in this variation. They've done it really early on, and it just wasn't executed well, in my opinion. Again, they got the good voice acting in the series and some good music again, but I just really didn't like where the story was going, and the character developments of the Digimon was pretty terrible early on. So I think I dropped it after about 5 or 6 episodes. It was really anticipated for me again. Really loved the original. There were some of my favourites childhood growing up, so I had a lot of what's it called? Yeah, I had a lot of nostalgia with that one, and I was hoping to get that kind of nostalgia burst again from watching this, but it just didn't happen, and I just felt kind of disappointed with it. So that'll go in the D tier. Next, we've got one that I'm currently watching, and I'm only 9 episodes through, so I'm not sure I can give this a full rank or anything. Again, I've got 3 episodes left, but we've got Dorohedoro. Actually, one of my favourites that came out of this year. Again, I'm only 9 episodes through, but I just love crazy stuff, crazy characters, crazy shows, and this is an absolutely crazy show. The opening is an absolute banger as well, with the Goyuza heads and what's his name, walking up and down. I can't even remember his name right now, but I know it's Ritsu, but I can't even remember the other guy's name. But yeah, this is an absolutely amazing show. The magic in it's really cool as well, and I love the guy with the mushrooms. N is his ability is really cool. Of course, we've just again, spoilers. We've just girl with the blonde hair, I can't quite remember her name, but she's just been found to have some kind of time magic, so things are getting very interesting at the minute. But yeah, I love the animation as well. The animation and the CGI is absolutely amazing for this series, fits it really well, which it's not a thing I'd say about a lot of things, but CGI is actually getting very good this year, especially from Mappa. I don't know if I would have put this in the A or the B tier, to be honest. Again, I haven't finished it, so you know what, I'll put it in the B tier for now. It very well could be an A, could be an S tier when I finish it, but for now I'll put it in the B tier with Attack on Titan, just because I absolutely love that show, man. Definitely pick it up. I think I remember a little while ago, because I watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure a little while ago. I saw a YouTuber who said that JoJo's is really good, but they also like Dorohedoro manga and the Golden Kamuy manga, which I didn't hear anything about both of them at the time. And then they both kind of got anime adaptations recently, so decided to watch them both. And yeah, definitely live up to the JoJo's, if not both of these, maybe even better than JoJo. So yeah, really excited for the end of Dorohedoro in a couple of days. I should be finishing that before 2020, and we've got Golden Kami coming up later. But we've got one I started watching again yesterday, Fire Force season 2. I watched the whole of the first half weekly, and actually didn't like the first half of it that much. It felt a little bit slow and a little bit. It was definitely important to the storyline, but it just felt a little bit slow. There were some funny moments in there, but the second half that I'm into, I'll put it down here now. Yeah, I'll put it there again for now. But yeah, the second half that I've just got into, where they've invaded this facility from some shady guy, and this guy with the moons. I'm kind of loving the Soul Eater references that's coming up recently. Of course, I really like Soul Eater, but I really hated the ending of Soul Eater. So this was a big kind of anime for me. Style wise, especially, because I absolutely love the style of Soul Eater, and that's definitely kind of embodied through Fire Force as well, which I absolutely love. But a few of the sound designs are a little bit iffy, and it's kind of hard to keep track of. Sometimes they put me off a little bit, where they just, I mean, sometimes they sound cool, but sometimes it just sounds like a bit of a mess. But yeah, I think the story was a bit slow in the first half, but the animation and the story is definitely picking up in this kind of second core of the show. Again, I've got about 7 or 8 episodes left of it, so again, can't quite fully form an opinion on it. So don't take this one right to heart, but I think I'm going to put this in C tier alongside Akudama Drive. Again, some really nice animation, some really nice stylistic and voice acting as well. They've got some absolutely amazing voice actors looking into it. Yeah, the music and a little bit of the story of the first half let it down a little bit for me. Next on the list we have Code Geass, which actually came out in 2019. Taking a breath for a second. But yeah, so it came out in 2019, but I only got to see it in 2020, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people only got to see it in 2020, kind of the Western world anyway. But yeah, I was really, really excited for this. Of course, Code Geass is my favourite anime, Code Geass R2 and R1, and after the a little bit of the disappointment of the Akito films, I had real high hopes for this. Again, I don't think I can put it any higher than a C, unfortunately. So yeah, C for me. The story, again, I don't really know what I was expecting. Of course, Lelouch kind of died in the original, again, spoilers. So bringing him back was always going to be a little bit hard to do, but I think they did actually pull it off pretty well. They had a kind of coherent story, but again, it wasn't that Code Geass what I love, and yeah, I can't explain it too well, but it captured some great moments, but again, it didn't really embrace the full kind of version of Code Geass that I loved. Bringing Lelouch back, but they have just announced a new 10-year plan, so hopefully we'll have some good anime adaptations for Code Geass coming up in the future. But yeah, the movie was nice to look at, had some very nice soundtracks as well, but kind of took it to a place where I didn't really care too much for the story and what was going on. It was just kind of nice seeing Lelouch and what's her name back on the screen, green haired girl, C2. But yeah, C tier for me on that one, unfortunately. Okay, so I can see some big boys coming up, I won't lie. Of course, we have no A or S tiers yet. Now we've got God of High School. Again, this by Studio Mappa again, I think, anyway, if I'm not being stupid. But really love this show for the animation, if anything, and the kind of fight design. The choreography and the fights were absolutely amazing. I love the kind of I wouldn't call it villain of the week, but almost like fight of the week. There used to be like a couple of fights every episode, and in the cages, for example, had a really awesome premise where they had some kind of abilities. Again, don't really know about it too much because I wasn't really that interested in the story. I'll spoil that a little bit now. But yeah, the animation and some of the character designs were absolutely fantastic, and the opening and ending set were absolutely amazing as well. So definitely top tier in that regard. Animation, for example, from Mappa, but the story was a bit of a mess. I won't lie. I can't actually recall hardly any of it, but yeah. Of course, they had the God of High School kind of competition going on, and then it kind of got sabotaged from some guys. about this god or something, this monkey god, and this thing coming down from Earth. It was all a little bit Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood like towards the end of it, which I didn't really actually like that much. And as I said, I didn't really understand the story that well. Again, this could just be a personal kind of defect, but yeah, I just didn't find the story very interesting at all. Again, though, the fights and animation were absolutely top tier and actually some of the best this year, especially towards the start of it, I think. So I've got to give it a little bit of respect for that. So although I do take story into account quite a lot, so you know what, I'll put that in the D tier. Another disappointment along with Digimon, so yeah, they fit quite well in that tier, I think. Next we've got Higurashi Gou. This will just be the Go series, of course. I picked up Higurashi the anime, Higurashi Rei and Higurashi Kai, I think it was. I'm not sure, but 3 of the original anime series. I'm actually yet to read the what is it called? Not the light novel, the sound novel. That's the one. I'm actually yet to play or read that. I'm slacking a little bit, but that's because I'm actually I'm watching the playthrough of the Umineko sound novel, and I'm about 50 or 60 hours in so far. I'm absolutely loving that, and I've just really got no time for anything else. So yeah, I'm watching Higurashi Go, so we'd just be rating Higurashi Go for this one. By the way, definitely recommend Umineko. This season's alright. I actually prefer the animation in the old school style from Studio Dean from the original animes. Some of the stylistic choices I don't really care too much for in this adaptation. It does show the gore and such really well, but yeah, it's not really anything too much new about this season, if I'm honest. Of course, they're adding in new stuff for the people that have seen the originals and such, and there are actually new kind of things going on, but the kind of scenario and such, and a lot of the characteristic changes hasn't really changed that much. It's just kind of almost progressed from the old anime rather than being a completely new anime, which again I don't mind too much, but it's almost like I'm watching the same thing from what I watched in the original, just a little bit skewed and a little bit further down like the timelines, I think. So definitely like some of the more tense moments in this. Again though, definitely not in the B tier. I think a tier in between a C and a D, to be honest. Do you know what? I'll put it in the C tier for now, because I am enjoying it. Enjoying seeing all the characters again, but again, I'm not enjoying it as much as I enjoyed the original series when I watched that before watching Go. So yeah, I'll put that in the C tier for now. It could be down to the D tier though. I'll have a little review at the end, and then I'll show you my kind of my full list at the end. Now we've got a big one, Jujutsu Kaisen. Just finished episode 13 the other day, and it's going for a break for a week, as with a lot of the anime on this list. But absolutely loving this series so far, man. Some of the storylines for the characters, like Junpei, for example, are so well done, man. And characters like Todo, and people getting introduced just like one episode characters like that Bonito Fake Sky and the Panda. All these amalgamation of characters are actually very kind of interesting. Definitely want to get to know him a bit better, especially Todo. He seems like he could be one of my favorite characters in anime going forward. But yeah, absolutely loving this series so far. Some absolutely amazing animation from Studio Mappa again, and I'm really enjoying the storyline of this with Sukuna and Itadori having Sukuna having Itadori as a vessel makes for a very interesting relationship, especially between the Cursors and Itadori. Again, got to see a lot of that coming forward, and we're only 13 episodes through, so this is not a very accurate ranking, but I think I've got to go on the B tier for this. Studio Mappa actually just taken out the B tier pretty insane up there. They're just sitting at the top. So yeah, Mappa have actually been knocking out of the park this year. So B tier for Jujutsu Kaisen so far. Of course, it's got potential to go to the A and maybe even the S tier, but we'll see a little bit more of that coming forward. Okay, so now we got maybe my potential winner. Again, we've got a lot of big boys left. We've got Kaguya-sama, Love is War. Now I watched the first and second season both this year, and I've got to say the second season was definitely an improvement on the first season. I really loved the first season. I think I gave that a 7 out of 10. Really liked that, and the comedy side, and it was a little bit romantic, but the romance, the comedy, the serious moments, and the character storylines like Ishigami, for example, just kind of went a level higher this season, man. Definitely one of the best things I watched this year. And as I said, Ishigami, Kaguya, sorry, I get Kaguya and Kagura very mixed up sometimes. What's his name? Shirogane and Chica. That's the one. They also introduced some awesome characters like Miko and the girl with glasses. I don't know her name, unfortunately. I'm very sorry. But yeah, the girl with glasses, two kind of amazing characters introduced to the I guess we call it the like Joe's office. We'll call them. It's weird that I remember the Japanese. But yeah, really love this show, and it's got to go in the A tier for me. Might even, oh man, what do you do here? S or A tier, man? You know what, I got very emotional with Ishigami's. I'm gonna put it at S tier, I think. I just love the romance moments, and the comedy again just leveled up this season. Ishigami got his own storyline after being introduced quite early on in the first season, I think anyway. Again, I could be mixing things up. I watched it quite a while ago, but yeah, after Ishigami getting introduced, then having his own kind of personal storyline, looking back into his past as well, and is why he is relate to him quite a lot. It's a very scary thing having interactions like that, especially during that period of your life and such. And then yeah, just absolutely love it. So I think that'll go in the S tier for me, especially for the 2020 list. Definitely one of the best things I watched this year. I'm very happy I did watch it. But yeah, it could be an A tier, could be an S tier. I'll put it in S tier for now because I feel bad not having anything in S tier. Alright, so next we've got Kamuy-sama ni Natta Hi. This ended yesterday. This was very emotional. The thing I've probably find best about this series is actually the music. The OSTs, the opening and the ending, actually one of the best openings of the season, and it's mad because I don't really see anyone kind of talk about the opening for Kamuy-sama ni Natta Hi, but it's actually one of my favourite openings this season. The storyline isn't that complex and isn't one of my favourite storylines for this year, definitely not, but just the emotion it kind of makes you feel, as well as the soundtrack on top of that. You can feel the characters' emotions in this series, actually some of the best, like emotionally, from what I've seen this year. And kind of portraying that throughout the series. Has a few kind of hiccups here and there with a couple of the love kind of scenes and such with Yota, kind of going after Namakami, I think her name is, and then Hina and such. That was a bit of a failed romance between Yota and I'm going to call her Namakami, and then Yota ended up loving Hina, for example, and there was a few kind of hiccups with the Mahong as well. That episode was a very slow one for me because I don't know how to play Mahong, and I think that's a very popular game in Japan, so obviously the Japanese audience are going to know how to play it, and obviously their Japanese anime isn't focused for Western audiences, for example, but they didn't actually explain how to play it or anything, so that episode I was just kind of sitting there in the dark and had no idea what was going on, so that's definitely one of the downfalls of the series. Again, not the most complex story, but definitely an emotional one, and cried a hell of a lot during the series. So for that reason, I think I've got to put it in the C tier. I wouldn't say any of the characters go on my favourites list or anything, but Hina is definitely a very good character and probably my favourite character from the series. But again, she's not anything special when compared to the B tier and the S tier, for example. So I think I'll put that in the C tier. Okay, catch your breath again. A lot of talking. Okay, now we've got Golden Kamuy. I had to clear my breath because I knew this one would probably be speaking about a lot, although now saying that I'll probably speak about it for a minute. But yeah, really love Golden Kamuy. Of course, I picked up the whole series this year, season 1, season 2, all the OVAs, and then the third season that came out this year. One of the best things I picked up again this year. I'm just going to put it straight in the A tier. Season 3 was absolutely amazing. Probably my anime of the season so far, for the full season anyway. I didn't watch Kaguya-sama when it came out. I watched it a little bit late, but yeah, Golden Kamuy, definitely my anime of the season so far. I've got the picture of Sarumi because he's my favourite character. Didn't see too much of him this season, but we got some of his kind of origins this season, which was absolutely amazing to see. But yeah, he wasn't as big of a feature as he was in some previous seasons with the comedy moments with Nikaido and stuff. Yeah, it's Nikaido. I was getting Nikaido and Hokkaido mixed up there for a second, but yeah, absolutely one of my favourite characters from that series, and the series itself is just levels, man. It makes cooking really interesting, hunting as well. Of course, we've got some of the massive fight scenes and just the mystery of the tattoos and the gold, for example. Just got elements of everything. The comedy in it is top tier. JoJo's kind of Gintama level comedy. Yeah, the story very interesting. Characters, some of the best characters I've seen this year, from Sarumi to what's his name, his name. Of course, we've got Sugimoto and Ashirika. Shiraishi, he's a very awesome, very hilarious character. Can't remember, Ogita, I think his name is. It's because I get him, Ogita and Okita mixed up. A lot of kind of Gintama, a lot of Golden Kamuy kind of similar type names in there, because I think they both kind of focus on real life people from Japan, from the past anyway. But again, this I can't really say enough about this show. It's just got almost levels of every kind of genre, and it does them all to the top tier. So definitely an A tier, and I'd definitely recommend to watch that one. And yeah, season 3 anime of the season so far. Okay, now moving on, we've got the My Hero Academia season 4. This actually started in 2019, I think, anyway, but it did run throughout 2020, and I watched it in full in 2020. This kind of had 2 halves to it, if I remember correctly. The first half being the invasion of, I don't remember it that well because it was very early on in the year and haven't watched it since. But yeah, it was the invasion of the guy with the pelican mask. It wasn't a pelican mask, but the kind of witch doctor mask thing, which was very disappointing actually. I really didn't. There were some amazing moments, especially during the start with Red Riot. It was actually one of my big kind of standout characters coming out of season 4. Red Riot is definitely one of my favourites now. We're just so awesome seeing him, but actually felt a little bit disappointed how they done that, and how easy it was to defeat him and such, and how easy it was to defeat that whole kind of Yakuza organization. It was definitely a little bit disappointing in my eyes, but actually quite enjoyed the second half, although the second half was definitely kind of loved and hated by fans. It had definitely some split opinions. I actually quite liked the second half with the terrible I can't remember their name, but the two terrible villains are actually quite funny and quite awesome to see on screen, especially their interactions with some of the hero characters. But yeah, that and Endeavor's ending was actually quite a bit of genius in my opinion. I really liked Endeavor throughout the series. Of course, he's been a kind of symbol of hate almost, from the hero side, being a number 2 hero, but his story of kind of stepping into number 1 and Hawkeye getting introduced and such was actually really awesome, and I really like that kind of having to see Endeavor step up as the main hero now. Hopefully we get a little bit more of that next season, but I think I actually prefer the second half rather than the first half, which is probably a bit of a weird opinion, but yeah, I think I'll have to go with C tier again for this. So I was a little bit disappointed for the first half, but the second half definitely brought it back up. But again, I don't think it's on the level of Dorohedoro or Jujutsu Kaisen at the minute. I'm just comparing these two, as again, Attack on Titan's only got 3 episodes out. Another interesting one is the One Punch Man Season 2 specials. I think a few of them actually came out in 2019, but a few of them came out in 2020, so I'm just going to rate them all as in 2020. Really like One Punch Man. Obviously, Season 1 is one of my top 10 anime. Season 2 is really awesome as well. Not nearly as bad as people say it is. The voice acting and some of the scenes are still just as hilarious as the first season, although that animation and some of the fight scenes are nowhere near as good as in the first season. Of course, we can just look back on the Geno Saitama fight for that, which is one of the most beautiful animations I've seen still. But yeah, the specials are actually really funny, especially the one where they're in the snow cabin. I really like that one, but again, they're only kind of 6-minute shorts, so not too much to say about these. They're just kind of comedy, like 6-minute episodes. So again, I think I'll put that in the C tier. It doesn't really hold a candle to Dorohedoro or Jujutsu Kaisen or Golden Kamuy or Kaguya-sama. Now we've got an interesting one. One I have only seen the first arc for, I think, yeah, the first 5 episodes. The Great Pretender. Now, I absolutely love the opening and ending of this series, especially the ending song by Queen. Absolutely love it, and absolutely love the first arc. I had to put it on hold just because of the amount of anime I was doing over the fall, but I'm definitely going to try and pick this back up again next year, starting off with the second arc. But I absolutely love the first arc. Some amazing kind of I don't even know what to call it, kind of twists and kind of turns, and I don't even know if you call them twists and turns because they're all kind of common at the end of the day anyway. So yeah, just absolutely loved it. I love how they played the drugs and such in the first season, and I think I've actually got to put this in the B tier, which is probably going to be a bit controversial, just because I've only seen one arc of it. But I absolutely love that arc, and some of the characters introduced are amazing, and I think those characters kind of carry on through the whole series. So it'd be really awesome to see them in different scenarios and such. But again, I've only seen 4 episodes and it's a B tier, so this has definitely got potential to go A tier or maybe even S tier at the minute. But yeah, absolutely love the start for the Great Pretender, and definitely recommend watching at least the first arc for anyone that hasn't watched it yet. Okay, now we've got one of my personal favourites, Railgun T. Of course, I started the whole a certain scientific and a certain a certain scientific and a certain magical series this year. Started the light novels this year as well, so just been a kind of big Tawaru year for me in general. T kind of being the top of it all, anime wise anyway. Of course, I'm really enjoying the light novel at the minute. I'll probably leave an I button up here or there. I'll link on that up above, but yeah, Railgun T was an absolute joy, man. Some amazing characters introduced this season, with Tomo getting a little bit of time during Railgun T. I won't lie, Index 3 was a little bit disappointing looking back, especially after reading the light novel. Of course, I'm nowhere near there in the light novel, but just the amount of detail in the early light novel stages is just amazing, so I can't wait to reach Index 3 in the light novel. But yeah, awesome seeing Tomo and what's his name? I can't remember any of their names. It's been a while since I watched it, but the guy, the one of the top 7 espers with the crazy ability of just doing anything he wants, pretty much, with the explosions. Guita, I think his name is, Sungo Guita or something like that. Apologies, guys. But yeah, he was absolutely amazing. And then Misaka and Misaki relationship was awesome as well. Just a lot of awesome characters introduced, and seeing the same awesome characters we've seen from Railgun and Railgun S kind of progress even further this season. Definitely one of my favourites this season as well. So I think I've got to put Railgun T in the B tier. Of course, one of my personal favourites as well, just because it's kind of the certain scientific and Railgun series, and it magical series, sorry, kind of started off my channel really, and this is what I kind of built my channel upon. So yeah, absolutely, they got a place in my heart, especially just because of you guys and the YouTube channel, for example. So that kind of adds to it. But again, the story and the animation, and especially the last few episodes as well, with Misaka versus the doppelganger, was absolutely great. Definitely recommend Railgun T, although you'll have to watch a lot of Railgun and Magical Index to get to it, and the Magical Index series definitely isn't the best. So definitely recommend to read the light novel first from now. But yeah, B tier for that one. Same level as Dorohedoro, Jujutsu, and Great Pretender. And now we'll move on to ReZero Season 2 Part 2. Now this is an interesting one. I really love ReZero series. The first season was actually one of my favourites. One of the first anime I watched as well, and I do think this season definitely just built upon that. I'm gonna have to put this in the A tier just because there was so many what the fuck moments, so many just Subaru, just man, this season was absolutely amazing. Just a lot of characters introduced as well. Garfield's sister. Of course, we got the Roswell kind of turn as well, where we finally found out what he's doing. And in the preview art for season 2, part 2, it has a big picture of Roswell kind of underneath everything. So I think he's going to be kind of lurking there for the second part of the season, which starts in the fall, which I'm very excited for. But yeah, again, what's her name? I was about to call her Beatrice, but yeah, Beatrice got some huge parts. She's one of my favourite girls in the series. She got some huge parts in that part of the season as well, and she probably will do in the next part as well. Unfortunately, she did die in the second half of in the first half, sorry, of part 2, which was quite unfortunate. But of course, we got the resets and such. But yeah, a lot of the witches were very awesome. Main one being Ekidona, that's the name. Ekidona was an amazing part of this season, with the cups of teas and having the little tea room chats, kind of trying to get Subaru on her side and trying to form a pack with him. I don't think he did in the end, but just kind of really loved the interactions this season, and a lot of the deaths were absolutely brutal, if not the same, probably more brutal than the first season deaths, although I would say the first season deaths definitely felt a little bit more kind of character emotion towards him, rather than just outright just kind of messed up. But yeah, absolutely love season 2 part 1, and I can't wait for the part 2. Okay, so into the last 2 shows before I have a little mix about. I might not need to mix anything, but I'm going to have a little look over in my own time, and then come out with the end result in a minute for you guys. But we've got the Rohan OVAs. Now again, I think a couple of them were released in 2019, but a few more released this year. And actually absolutely love the OVAs. Rohan was one of my favourite characters from part 4, part 4 being my favourite part, and it was actually one of my favourite characters for a long time. Kind of gone down a little bit now after the rewatch, and of course Yoshikage Kira being my favourite JoJo's character, obviously being my favourite part 4 character, alongside Josuke as well, and obviously Rohan, but Rohan went down a little bit there. But I did really like the some of the OVAs. The creepy one in the mountain house was alright, pretty average in my opinion. But then we get to the kind of fitness ones with Rohan versus this guy with some wings on his back and stuff, and just went absolutely crazy, and absolutely love that kind of. Again, I love the crazy, so really love those OVAs in my personal opinion. It's just a matter of if I put it B or C tier. So I do really like JoJo's, but I think I put it in the I put it in the C tier. It makes sense to put both the OVAs from One Punch Man and Rohan in the C tier, because I did think they were on the same level comedy wise. Of course, the Rohan ones were a bit longer and a bit more fleshed out, but yeah, really weird, and absolutely love that weirdness. So as you can tell with Dorohedoro, I love the weird. So C tier, but I might, when I come back and relook at these, I might put them in order, so the closest to the letter, sorry, would be the best in that tier. Yeah, I think I'll do that in a moment. But lastly, we've got Tower of God, which we will put. Oof, this is a tough one, man. I'll leave it here for now. Not in the F tier. How do I put this back? I don't think I can. I'll leave it in the F tier for a minute. So yeah, Tower of God was actually one of the ones I was most hyped up towards, because a lot of people read the I think it's a web novel, I'm not 100% sure, but a lot of people read the source material for Tower of God. And a lot of people hyping it up a hell of a lot, saying it's one of the best kind of stories in literature and such, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. But definitely a little bit disappointed. Of course, it was very interesting kind of concept, having to climb this tower to obviously become a god, but or gain power in the world. But again, kind of world building wise, I'm not really sure what there is in the world apart from this kind of tower to climb and such. Obviously, we saw where Bam and I think her name is Rachel, where they kind of came from, this kind of pit, but we don't really get that much of a good look how kind of outside world kind of lives in this place. Like, is everyone just like living in this tower of God? Probably expanded a bit further upon in the source material, but from the first season of the anime, I didn't really understand that at all, where Bam and Rachel did actually kind of come from and where they were born from. Like, it's not explained, and you think something like quite easy like that would be explained. Don't worry, it's not going to be with F tier. But yeah, some actually really cool turns with Rachel towards the end. Really like the character kind of development there. Although Bam is a little bit of a lot of people hate on Bam because he is a little bit what would you call it? A little bit taken back, a little bit withdrawn, a little bit. Definitely relate to that a little bit. Definitely relate to that, but yeah, it can be a bit annoying at times, especially during some of the fights and such. But yeah, kind of I loved how the series ended, and I loved the twist towards the end. So definitely higher than an F tier for me, but I've got to put it in a D tier just because it was another bit of a disappointment, just like God of High School. The animation wasn't even that nice as well. I really like the animation style, but for the fight scenes and such, for example, the animation actually didn't suit that the best. It kind of fits a more kind of static kind of storyline. But yeah, I like the I guess I kind of like the style and the character design in that case. Then the actual animation and choreography wasn't that great in my opinion, especially when compared to God of High School. But I'll put those both in the D tier for now, and then I'll have a little look over it, and I'll come back with the full tier list in a minute. Okay, so this is the full what I've ended the tier list on. I'll try and zoom in a bit for you guys, just make it a little bit more clear. Ooh. That should be okay. Yeah, so that'll be a little bit more clear for you guys, hopefully. But again, we've got 7 Deadly Sins Season 3 at the bottom here. At the top of the D there, we've got God of High School, just because I love the animation and the fights. Tower of God, which storyline wasn't actually that bad. Story's actually pretty good in general, but again, just everything around it isn't the best. And then the Digimon, which was a real disappointment, but we call this the D for the disappointment category. All kind of disappointing anime there. C tier, we got the top, which is Kaguya-sama, just because the amount of times it made me cry. Just the amount of emotion in that series was quite beautiful. So definitely the top of C tier. Then Akudama Drive, which again was very solid all the way through. Fire Force. Then we got the Rohan OVAs, My Hero Academia. Kind of put those all kind of the same level, especially with One Punch Man, the specials as well. I think those four are kind of on the same level, which is a bit crazy considering Fire Force and My Hero Academia are actual series, and these are just original video animations. So again, a little bit disappointing for both Fire Force and My Hero Academia. Again, I haven't seen the ending to season 2 of Fire Force, and I've heard some crazy stuff does go down, so this could definitely move in the future. So if I do like the end of it, I'd probably go in the B tier, but for now I put it close to the top of C tier. Then we've got the Code Geass movie, which again was a little bit disappointing. Could go in the D tier again, but I think it's more towards the C tier, just because again that kind of I don't know if I'd even call it a what's it called? Nostalgia. I'll keep forgetting that word. But yeah, I don't know if I'd even call it nostalgia, because I didn't watch Kaguya-sama too long ago, to be honest. And again, it's my favourite anime. But yeah, there's probably a little bit of bias putting it in the C tier there. Probably could go in the D tier for a lot of other people. Then Higurashi Gou, which again, I just might prefer the original anime compared to this adaptation in a minute. But I think the second core of Higurashi Gou will actually be having a name switch, and we'll be getting some answer arc. So again, that could change at any point. That's the same with all of the anime that's currently ongoing, or I haven't watched all of, by the way, guys, so I won't say that anymore. But then at the top of B tier, we've got Dorohedoro, just above Jujutsu Kaisen, just because I absolutely love the craziness of Dorohedoro and Kaiman, and just the craziness of the characters is just what I kind of live for while watching anime. So yeah, that's definitely got potential to go to the A tier. Again, I haven't seen all of that yet, and that's in the B tier. So then we've got Jujutsu Kaisen, again halfway through there. Really love the characters and the developments. We've got Railgun T, which is midway through the B tier. We've got both Attack on Titan and Great Pretender, just because I've seen very little of those two compared to the other three, so those two are at the bottom. And if I was to say, I would prefer Great Pretender at the minute. And then in the A tier, we've got same as before, we've got Golden Kamuy and ReZero. Golden Kamuy I do enjoy just a little bit more, just because it gives me all kind of emotions in the genres, when it changed genres, for example, when it does the cooking, when it does the fights, when it does the sadness, the mysteries, all sorts. So yeah, A tier for that. Honestly, it could go in the S tier, but yeah, ReZero just after that, and then S tier is Kaguya-sama. But yeah, these three probably could all go in the S tier, but I'll leave it as it is for now. Again, let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below, if you agree with any of the opinions, or if you'd change any of them around. If you've got any anime that you've seen this year that's not on the list that would go into the A, S, B tier, for example, let me know down in the comments down below as well. If you did like the video, please leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date with the reactions. Have a good rest of your day, guys.